All right, you crazy mother freaking traders. I'm recording this for the second time, so now all the spontaneity of my commentary is out the window and you get the artificial version. But what a freaking day. The first thing I was happy to see is that we finally broke the 4-hour high internal highs, so pretty much solidifying to me that we're trending upwards despite obviously what happened today. This is the same to say where it's not hindsight where I'm like, oh, if we obviously we're bullish now because we've shot up. It was more of I need certain levels to break first. We already had highs being broken, so we had the internal high, the low broke it. When do we get more structure? But this level of support holds, and then we're just waiting and waiting. So what I used early in the week were these levels. So this was like sign 1, so we broke that, we've come down, not broken any lows. Then we broke this a small bit for today, and then the level came straight off it on 9 a.m. Now I wasn't expecting it to just shoot up from that level without some sort of retracement, since we did have some hourly gaps and stuff like that to target. A lot of downside liquidity, which we'll show in a second. And my favorites, the unfilled fair value gaps for fucking very good cash opportunities. But yeah, this is the value of alerts and having patience when it comes to ICC, because one, a higher time frame, if you want the stronger trades, you wait for the stronger levels of sellers to be broken if we're thinking we're going to go bullish, and then not to cherry pick. But these indications are made well in advance. This was made on the 12th of February. Today's the 25th. And what do we get? A nice candle closure on the 4-hour above the zone. So coming into the following day, I'm expecting, as I've marked out here, which I did do in real time and explained everything, but I would hope to see some sort of sell-off during Asia and London, and then to freak everybody out and think we're just going to sell, which we could do. If we start breaking past this level and tapping into these, then it's probably likely we're just going to keep on going, because that's a big range to retrace. But whatever happens when it comes into New York session. As always, I've already got my zones marked out, so there's plenty of positions to take, mainly this one if this comes to it, which is why I'm always anticipating liquidity sweeps. And then once we're back to these levels, and like I say, we haven't broken these lows, because that would be my key low level of support. So if we start breaking past this, which is highly doubtful that it's going to happen tomorrow or even tonight, who knows? Nvidia helped push price up today. And then in terms of Foxbox levels, annoyingly, this never got hit during my trade session, and I had to go all the way back to like the 11th of November, because this is what I was doing pre-market. Just before I opened, I was like, oh, if we don't come down to these levels, because there was, like I say, there was a load of hourly levels and session levels to take. I was scrolling. I was like, what? I need some levels in this general area to use. And there was nothing because of how big the sell-offs were. And again, context matters. We have sell levels here, indications made. That's not here though, there. So the nearest one I had coming into the day was all the way here from the 11th of Feb, And I marked it 50% because the wick was only small. And this is why I say ICC you can reuse. Don't treat them like fair value gaps that you don't want to use multiple times, because ICC is just market structure where reactions are happening. And then even today, if I had the indicator on, but like I say, I was already done trading by this point, we even made a new 5-minute level in the same goddamn spot. So if you're telling me that the market does not repeat itself, boy, you need to check again. Now on a lower time frame, I wouldn't have taken it as soon as it hits there, because what do we expect to see when we make a high? We have a low, we make the high tries to take out the low, which would indicate a reversal of the trend. But if it doesn't break and it finds supports, and it's also respecting the high time frame gaps, we had 15-minute UFG, which is where price tapped into, somewhere around there. Then we had two, so we wicked into this one because this was like the most obvious one because it's the biggest one. As soon as price came into that, it also now made a 4-hour and a 1-hour. But once it tapped into it, came back up, and then it came to the 5-minute level, so then you could take a trade. And again, ICC, 50 points max stop loss needed to trade NQ, and you're chilling. You can go on the 30 seconds or 2 minutes to look for closures above on a lower time frame, which is what I normally do. So I expect it to come up, close above, come back down again, and again see lower structure being maintained. So we go on the 2 minute, which is like my smoothest level. So on here, we wicked above, but we didn't close above, so I wouldn't have entered straight away. Found more support. Then we started to close above, so you could enter at this point. Or if you wanted to wait for the pullback, which is also recommended. And again, you'll be tracking these same lows. This low didn't get broken, this low didn't get broken. Price closed below, came back up. As soon as it starts coming back up, take a trade there. Potentially less time waiting and less indecisiveness. But once we got into here, we started rocketing. And this was in the favorite last session that I like to trade if I'm going to be on the market, is that 3:30 p.m. to 9:10 window. And boom, baby, boom. And then obviously Nvidia earnings came out. Put price up even more, it seemed. But yeah, the markets tell you what to do. You just got to read it and take the appropriate steps. So this will be the outlook for the rest of the week. So we'll take a lovely screenshot. And again, all my positions are there. We had NQ sells, but the sells context is based on, are we still in a downtrend? And since we started breaking all of these highs, then we shot through. You would have taken sells if price had come up and then started to come back down, because like I say, we had all of the draws of liquidity in these areas. But price did not want to do that, so sells off the table for now. But like I say, if we're expecting pullbacks from these levels, you can potentially take some sells to take out some liquidity here. But the sells will be temporary, and as long as this doesn't break, I'm more confident that the uptrend is now what we're in. So yeah, let's do that, screenshot it. So now you know how I mark up in real time.